All right, okay, I've been told that we have to shut it down. Okay, we understand that. All right, and as we said, hold on.
Only one witness in the
Pour my libation, talk to my ancestors, meditate, see what they got to say back to me. And without African spirituality, I don't know if I would still be alive. You know, and I'm glad I went to Africa in 2005 with the Garvey movement. I'm glad I had that spiritual epiphany in Goree Island slave dungeon on that trip, because that's what gave birth to my pursuit of African spirituality. All these ancestors came to me in my hotel room. I'm wide awake. That's not even a dream. Scared the hell out of me. Something was pushing me and touching me and tapping me. I went through all this in Goree Island, and or at the hotel the night that I visited Goree Island, and it changed my life forever. That was 05, 2010. I blew up.
The sacredness of the African woman's vagina. No, I'm gonna go real rap. We must respect the sanctity and the sacredness and the divinity of the black woman's vagina. We must do that. Because if I look back, the situation I'm going through right now, brothers, I'm talking to my unapologetically African anti-snow bunny males right now. I'm talking to my unapologetically African anti-snow bunny males. The situation I'm going through right now is because at that time, 14 years ago and 23 years ago, I did not have the respect for the sacredness of the black woman's vagina like I should have. And the universe punished me for it. I'm being honest right now, family. Black queens, are you with me? I can admit to the black woman right here, right now in Los Angeles, the reason I'm going through what I'm going through is 14 years ago and 24 years ago, I didn't have the level of respect for the black woman's vagina that I have now. So I know that this is karma. This is karma. Even though I was done wrong, I could have never been done wrong if I didn't do wrong. Let me say it again. If I would have made better decisions, black men, young kings, listen to me, young kings. Listen to me, young kings. I don't want you to go through what I'm going through. I don't want you in a situation where your babies are kept from you because you didn't wife out. I don't want that. So you must respect the sacredness of your Shango stick. I'm not going to respond to the silly questions in the chat because a lot of these questions were already answered in previous lives. So I'm not going to respond to you. Go watch my previous lives. Silly questions like, did you go to court for custody? That's a silly question. That's a silly question. Of course I went to court for custody. But if you don't obey the custody order, custody don't mean nothing. If you don't obey the custody order, custody don't mean nothing. But I want to stay where I am right now. I want to stay where I am. I don't want the beta male brigade to distract me from what I'm saying, because I'm confessing my sins before the African woman. I'm confessing my sins before the throne of the divine African feminine. And the reason I can confess my sins at the throne of the divine African feminine is because I have such a great relationship with my mother, and I had great relationships with my grandmothers. You see, so I'm protected by divine feminine and divine masculine energy. See, if I didn't have the relationship with my mother and my grandmothers that I had, rest in peace to my grandmothers, I'd be calling my baby mamas all kind of bees, and I'm not, no crash out. No crash out. No crash out. Because of my great relationship with women and with my mother and that I had with my two late grandmothers, that's why I don't crash out over this. I know black women can behave better. I know that. I'm just confessing that back then, before I became the prince, before the world would know my name. See, both of my babies were conceived before I blew up. That was divine design. That was divine design. And I'm going to say that was divine design for two reasons.
Peace and Pan-Africanism!
Black